Hi, welcome to 2018. I took some time just to allow the new year to come in and settle before I thought I would share my ideas and my vision of how I see the energies of 2018. It was really exciting for me in 2017 in September when I was planning my workshops for the spring of 2018. It was really exciting for me to receive the message that the goddess was sending a new wave of energy to the earth. Sort of like in the 60s when that wave of the goddess energy brought that liberation of the body, of sexuality, of creativity. The flower power sort of era ushered in a time where people were taking time to enjoy the beauty of life and to explore new states of consciousness, whether that was influenced by the East or by drugs or whatever. A great exploration of consciousness occurred that totally changed the evolution of our spirituality in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, of course. And now I get this message in 2017 that the year 2018 is devoted to the goddess again in the same kind of vein. Indeed, it is not a repeat of or the 60s, but rather in 2018, this new wave of the goddess energy is bringing a whole new impulse into our evolution, a whole new direction. Started in 2017 on the fall equinox, and this new wave of the goddess is sort of like the energy that is carrying us forward on this new path, this new direction. Of course, it's the direction towards peace and wholeness and well-being and to equality and all of those things, to that new paradigm of reality. But the way we've developed up until now has slightly changed. So the direction that we're moving in is slightly different. And of course, neither I nor anyone else has any clear idea of what that is because it is brand new. It is something that we're just discovering as we move forward on this path. The interesting thing for me was that for the first time in many years, I was requested by two clients to do a crystal grid. Both of them were working on different issues, but they asked for a healing grid to, address these problems they were having. So indeed, of course I agreed, and I set up these grids as soon as I got home in the end of November. And setting up these grids, crystal grids, I've done healing grids for long distance healing many times in the past. But something was very different about these healing grids that I was setting up. I was intrigued by how things were unfolding. And then intrigued that for the one, Mary Magdalene came, and for the other, the energies of Pallas Athena. And so here we have these two goddesses, and every night before I go to bed, I'm energizing these healing grids, and every night the goddess is revealing to me how these healing energies are moving to these people in very new and different ways than I've ever witnessed before. Sometimes addressing the stem cells, sometimes going through a process of rebirth, but different than in the past. Much more paced and much more attention to every detail of the steps in the evolution of the healing and so on. a friend of mine in Belgium was interested in these energies, and so I invited her to also be part of it. And as she became part of it, the energies of Maat, the goddess from Egypt of justice and balance, appeared and was working as a trinity together with Pallas Athena and Mary Magdalene. And so at the end of the month, at the end of December, I was wondering, are we done? Are we complete? And indeed, I didn't get the message that anything was done or complete, but that it was an ongoing process. And so here we are, almost at the end of January, and I've been energizing these grids every day practically since the end of November, and being every night in constant contact with these three goddesses, these three aspects of the divine feminine. And as you all know, creating a healing space for others is also healing you. So although these energies of Mary Magdalene, Maat, and Pallas Athena are devoting their attention and their energies towards bringing a positive energy to these three people, being the catalyst for that energy is certainly a blessing for myself, because in doing that, I receive these energies, these new vibrations of the divine feminine from these three goddesses, or three aspects of my soul, as I would call it. So it's been a very powerful time. And all the while, I'm hearing on the news about this Me Too movement of women coming forward and not accepting that they've been sexually abused, and indeed the divine feminine anger, indignity of being treated as a sexual object has sort of come up in the mass consciousness of women, and women are rising everywhere in the world, often led by the Hollywood stars and the famous people in the world, as well as this ongoing revelation of sexual abuse in the Catholic Church and in other places. All of this sort of being intensified at the moment, and drawing the attention to the divine feminine, to the feminine condition in general. All of it sort of pointing towards the fact that we need to be aware of and conscious of the divine feminine within us and what is happening there, because it's being reflected on the global stage, and I don't think it's any coincidence. And therefore, I'm intrigued to see how the energies unfold now. I know that it's created a great change. This work in this very short time has created a great change for me on a physical level, but also, as you know, anything changed on the physical level has its effect on the emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. So experiencing a whole new ballpark of creativity, and in my painting, but also in my spiritual work, the energies I'm drawing, as well as the books that I'm reading, the information that is being exposed to, the level of consciousness that is being built within me is pertaining to a very concrete and real life situation. It's not a spirituality that's somewhere off in the distance, just enjoying the peace and perfection of the universe, but it's bringing that peace and perfection very, very concretely into every aspect of my daily life, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So I just thought I would like to share that with you, and also share with you the image that I've created for 2018, seeing the energies, drawing them, and being very, very intrigued by what I see and what I draw, and then to see how it affects other people, whether it inspires them or whether they really can't relate to it or whatever. But for me, there's a beauty in everything, and I'm intrigued just to see how people react to it. So enjoy this little add-on here at the end with a bit of music, and just allow yourself to take a moment to feel the love of the goddess flowing to you from the earth and from the heavens, from within as well as from without, from everywhere. Her love and these new vibrations are flowing to us in very new and different ways. And perhaps during this short moment of enjoying the visuals of this image, perhaps you may feel that. In any case, thank you very much for listening, and I hope that it was useful and that perhaps we meet sometime this year. Namaste.